Today we'll talk about putting the Clipper 29D Super X ball trays in the seed cleaner. The ball trays go under the screens. This is a first generation set, I would call it. They're going to slide on these rails. They're removable with the screens, and we're going to show you how to load them in the machine. There's no brush system for cleaning the screens. This one has been upgraded to the ball trays. Now, today this mill is equipped with split screens. Instead of a full 60-inch length, it has a split screen. You got a 34-inch piece and a 26-inch piece. So you have to be observant when you put the ball trays in. Right now we have them upside down so you can see how they go. This ball tray has a stair-stepped edge, and this lays towards your split on the 34-inch piece, like this. This ball tray has a long lip on each side and goes on the 26-inch piece in here. And then you can see the unit is together. And this will be loaded with balls, and then we'll slide it in on the rails. The rails hold along this piece. Your screen goes in the screen track here. So when it's in the machine, it's all held together. Okay, we are getting the ball tray ready to slide in with the screen. We have loaded it with the rubber balls, 5 balls per compartment. That would be 90 balls per tray. This one's already been loaded and the screen set on top of it. The ball trays of this design require a 2-person to put them in the machine, because you have to hold them together like this when you're getting ready to slide them in. And we're going to take a video of us sliding those in. Remember, the stair-stepped edge of the ball tray on split screens goes down here on the screen at this end, the tall piece under here. Okay, the Super X 29D is a 4-screen mill. Has 2 screens in the top shoe, 2 screens in the bottom. And the reason I'm pointing that out is when you load it, your screens in the top shoe have to go in backwards, if you will, say that. This is your spreader blank. It goes in first. We're putting the second screen in. We're putting the second screen in so that you can see the sliding in, the screenway, right there. Then we're going to go under the ball tray, and you can see it on the rail. You see how the ball tray is on the rail. Now I've slid it in a little bit more. You've got your screen in the screenway, the ball tray on the rail that holds it, and then they're all held together, and then the balls will bounce in there, as you can see me moving them with my fingers. And now we're going to set the next section in. Remember, this is a split screen. This one has split screens. You can run full-length screens, but these ball trays are designed for the split screens. They have the stair step on this ledge right here. And then also I was explaining how you have to hold them together when you're getting them started. Screen, ball tray, rail, you got to hold them together till you get them started. Okay, we have got the screens completely installed. It is very important when using split screens that you get this lip above your second screen. Right here, you use a putty knife and you can go under it and get that fully seated together so that your pistol grips will then go on. Okay, now we will show you how to tighten it with the pistol grip. Pull it down and over. Make sure the lip is seated underneath. Now the screen and the ball tray is held in place. We'll repeat the process on the other side. There's 2 pistol grips per screen. Okay, that is how you install what I'm going to give a terminology of a first generation ball tray, or a clipper removable ball tray. It comes out with the screens each time, requires a 2-man operation to change the screens. The new style are permanently mounted, and then you just remove the screen. But these work very well, and that's why I wanted to create this video to show you how they go in. We're just going to repeat the process on screen 1, 3, and 4 down under there. Okay, we've got number 1 screen in. We've got our number 2 in. And the reason I stopped is to remind you and to reiterate that your spreader blank in shoe number 1, your top shoe, is away from you. It's up there on both screens. And then the reason this is a Super X is because your screens are offset. Okay? So there's a blank that goes in here to fill this up, and then you put your pistol grips on. It's like another section of screen, but it's a blank piece of sheet metal, so your scalpings come on out into your catch-all. And the screens are offset so that when you fall through the first screen up there, you're immediately at the very beginning of this screen. Whereas Super model, the straight Super 29D screens are stacked on top of one another. So this is supposed to give you a better cleaning job. But I've ran both mills and they both do exceptional job cleaning seed. Now you will see that the top shoe is fully loaded with your filler spacer, your screen, making sure the lips overlap, ball trays are underneath, unit is ready to go. We put our banking board on right here, and this shoe is finished. Okay, I wanted to show the banking board installed. The P's are going to fall through the first screen onto this screen. The nice round ones are going to ride over the top, come down to the end, fall off, and go down into the next shoe, shoe number 2. What I'd like to talk about is right down in here is a lip on the banking board that goes over the funnel, that funnels it onto the third screen right in here. The reason I go over these things is when we go out on a service call, we see that these lips have not been held and attached over. They go over, and that leads to failure of the sheet metal and things like that. Here's another view of the lip going over this part here. Okay, I'm going to reiterate this subject again. We've moved to shoe number 2, and now we're going to do opposite of shoe number 1. In shoe number 1, we put the 34-inch piece with the spreader blank away from you, heading up in the mill. Coming down here, we're going to start with the 26-inch piece goes in first, then the spreader, the 34-inch piece with the spreader blank, one behind the other. And then you got to make sure your lip overlaps so that the spreader blanks are close to you here. They're up front of the shoe. We go to places and do service calls, and we find them running the screens all backwards. Okay, don't forget to use the tray with the stair step on the 34-inch piece. 5 balls per compartment, 90 balls total on the tray. Okay, the machine is finally loaded. We got one more banking board that we'll be putting on here. And then you can see it's finally loaded. This screen's a little ornery to get in because you got to reach down in there, keep your ball tray on your rail, keep your spreader blanks toward you on the bottom shoe. And then we are going to put the banking board on, and that is finished. One other thing I'd like to talk about is these holes on the sides of the cleaners. We will build a nice little oak cover for this. But this is where your brush mechanism would have went. This can be converted back to brushes if you want by buying the new brush jack and all the parts. But that creates a lot more mechanical things that you have to maintain, where the ball trays eliminate that. So these holes will be covered. Some people say, well, why are those patches on there? Well, that is just a nice cover to cover these holes here. There'll be 4 holes on each side where your cables and your rods that the brushes ran on them went. Today we have a Clipper Super X 29D seed cleaner. The cleaner ends in a 9, 29D. That means it has 42 by 60 inch screens. It's a 4 screen cleaner with top and bottom air. Come in good shape. All the bearings have been checked and are in order. We're going to run it with this 3-phase motor, then the customer wants a single phase that he is providing installed. This unit is equipped with ball trays. We're going to run it. Has a roll feed hopper, variable speed bottom air, variable speed shoe shake. However, once you convert the unit to ball trays, you should run your shake at 400 RPM and leave it there.